All right, guys, welcome back to a live that's kind of not live. This is a pre-recorded live, and you'll see why in just a minute because we want to touch guns today. So welcome to a Smash Times Lead Therapy Live with Eric from Sticky Holsters, and it's kind of a live. So everyone in the chat, everyone joining us in the chat, man, I really, really appreciate it. I just wish I could kind of talk to you during this live, but man, everyone in the chat, I know you're there, and I know that you know that I know that you know you're there. So thank you for tuning in. And without further ado, let's bring on my good friend, Eric with Sticky Holsters. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
Dude,
it's been a while.
Going.
Glad to be back.
Man, I'm glad to have you back on the channel, man. It's you're so busy, man. You're a hunter, shooter. I mean, you do everything. So thanks for taking the time out to come hang out.
Of course. Yeah, I'm glad to be back on the show. So I had a good time the first time.
Yeah. And so in case you guys don't know, I've been rocking Sticky Holsters. Look at the wear. No, you can't even see sticky on it anymore because I use this every single day. I jump between 3 or 4 different pistols, all Sticky Holsters, and I'm just a huge fan. And when I initially reached out to Eric, he was like, okay, we'll talk to you a little bit. And then I got to meet him and we chit chat, and they've been a real cool supporter of the channel. They've sent us some stuff for some meet and greets. So what's new from Sticky Holsters?
Oh, well, a lot is going on. We're obviously always busy doing a million things here, but this past year in 2023, we decided to branch out of concealed carry. So most everyone out there knows us for our holsters and our other concealed carry products, but everyone here is an outdoorsman, and we saw a lot of opportunities to use our material in the hunting and shooting sports portions of the firearms industry. So we launched our Fanatic line, which primarily focuses on hunting and shooting sports. So it's done really well this year. 2024, we're hoping that it does a lot better. We've put a lot of money into it, marketing wise and everything, which you should start seeing coming out here, hunting season coming up. So without further ado, since we can touch firearms now.
Let's check this out. Just for the record, all firearms have been cleared.
So as you can see, the bolt is actually taken out of this completely. So this is actually my personal, one of my personal hunting rifles, Christensen Ridgeline in 7mm mag. So we developed a modular rifle sling. It is a one sling for all your guns. What makes this unique is it's easily transferable from one firearm to another. And this primarily came out of frustration. If you own more than one long gun, you go into your safe, you pull it out, a sling is going to get tangled on something else, and then pretty soon you have 7 guns laying on your floor that fell out of a safe.
100%.
The inside of the sling has our proprietary sticky material, so it's not going to slide off your shoulder or anything like that. So what makes it modular and what makes it unique? We have these quick detach and attach clips. So you pre-mount these, we're calling them dongles. We have 3 different types: sling, stud, QD, and then a strap dongle, which I'll show you later. You pre-mount these to all your firearms and just leave them on your gun. The sling itself, you hang over your safe or wherever you want. You pull this gun out of the safe, click in the sling, and that's it. On this side, if you'll be able to see, we have a quick adjustment to change the length of the sling. So if you're rocking an AR or something like that, you can quickly lock it down tight against your body, jump in something. I've got the excess strap retained here just because it's a bolt gun, and I've got it set to a specific length, and I'm not going to be changing it quite a bit. So nice. Show you a couple different attachments for it.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, people that have safes full of guns, like you said, I mean, it does get in the way. And I got a million kind of crappy slings, and it's in the same drawer with all my shitty holsters I originally started buying.
So this is our QD. You know, we don't sell the actual mount that goes on your gun, but this is the QD attachment. Clicks in this side. It's got another QD attachment as well. So, like I said, you're able to quickly adjust the length of the sling right here with this buckle attachment here. I just haven't retained that excess there. But and then we have the strap. What are you going to use the strap dongle for? So if you're rocking like a lever action where the sling swivels are mounted in, or you're rocking an AR with the old buttstock, or even like the Magpul CTR doesn't have a QD mount on there, you just run the strap through the buttstock here, and it clicks in with your dongle as well. Then I have a QD on this one.
Oh, nice.
On this side. So, yeah, so that's our modular rifle sling. Now, one thing that you need to keep in mind is the dongles are sold separately. The reason we did that is we don't know what every individual has set up on their individual guns. So you buy the dongle attachments, there's 2 per pack. You know, if you're rocking 3 ARs and 2 bolt guns, and all your ARs have QDs, buy 3 QD sets and 2 sling stud sets and 1 sling.
Yeah, it's a huge room saver.
Yeah, and I mean, slings get expensive. I mean, even if you're buying a $30, $40 sling and you're putting them on 5 to 10 rifles, that gets expensive. So just buying the QD attachments, R1 sling will save you tons of money if you're putting on more than 3 guns.
Nice.
You guys might have gotten a sneak peek at our second product. This is our cheek pad riser. It is ambidextrous. It's made of our sticky material, so it doesn't move at all. Some of the other ones that I've used previously are made of nylon or elastic, and they slide all over the place. And I don't know if you're like me, but when I go and spend money on a hunt and I put in all the time and effort, training and physical fitness, shooting at weird positions at different distances, I don't want anything to possibly mess up that one shot that I worked so hard to get. So right. I've had these move on me, you know, given the size of scopes that are being used today, you need a little bit of a riser on the stock here. So it won't move at all. So if you're setting in, you don't have to worry about this moving or adjusting at all as you're trying to squeeze off that shot. Now, as it is right now, it comes with our rifle ammo holder. These are hook and loop. So you can
that's cool.
Take it off. It's ambidextrous. So if you're left-handed, you just mount your rounds on the other side. It also comes with a dope card holder, which you can just simply take off if you're not using it, put a morale patch there or whatever you want to do. And this fits rounds like 5.56 all the way up to 300 Win Mag. So it's elastic, hook and loop. You can buy extra of these. So like when I'm at the range, I'll load up like 4 or 5 of these, have them laying next to me. I get done with this one, pull it off, slap a new one on, and then I can just keep adding rounds as I'm zeroing or shooting, training, whatever it is. It uses these elastic hook and loop straps, so you can really crank this down so it's not going to move or budge or anything. So like I said, it's ambidextrous, but the other cool feature is we have a shotgun shell carrier as well. So you just buy the shot shell carrier, slap it on the same cheek pad riser. I've got this on a Mossberg 500 for home defense, but I've also used it on my Beretta and Benelli shotguns, turkey hunting and dove hunting. So it's really nice to be able to carry these extra rounds with you. It's not going to move with the added weight. I mean, I've carried extra shells and, the cheek pad will start sliding because of all the weight there, but the sticky material holds it in place.
Dude, that is really cool.
So like I said, it's ambidextrous. This will fit pretty much every bolt action, lever action, or shotgun out there. The only ones that it won't fit really are the ones where you have an adjustable comb or cheek adjustment with a little knob here or whatever, obviously that will get in the way.
Right.
But if you have adjustable length to pull, doesn't get in the way. There's no strap on this side to prevent it from moving because it uses sticky material.
Nice. Now all that stuff's available right now.
Available right now on our website and various retail stores across the country.
Yeah, when I first started carrying sticky holsters, I would see it in 1 or 2 shops, maybe at a gun show.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's everywhere. I mean, I see sticky holsters and a lot of crappy imitations. I see this stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we're 13 years old, 13 and a half years old now. I think there was one other competitor when we launched that had a similar style, but it was sold as a pocket holster. So we were the first ones to have a inside the waistband clipless holster. And now there's like over a dozen companies putting out a similar product than ours. But a lot of them, even if they say they're made in America, if it's $12 in the store, I can promise you it's not made in America.
Hey, so is that it? Is that all? Is that all the new products for 2020?
I got one more. So this is our modular shooting bag. What we did, so this came out of a hunting trip. So, I carry a sandbag in my pack, but anybody who's hunted, I've got Harris bipod on here, which is great if you're shooting perfectly flat. Perfectly flat support.
Right.
These are adjustable legs, but they're like inch notches. So it's really hard to get it exactly where you want it. So I had a shot on an animal at quite some distance. And the only spot I could get into and have a support was this really wet, old down log. And it was at an angle. So I was trying to figure out where I could put my hand to help support the gun, prevent it from sliding off this log. And my hand kept slipping, and everything I tried didn't work. And I didn't really have time to take my pack off, dig in my pack, and pull out my shooting bag.
Right.
So I was like, man, there's got to be a better option. So there wasn't. So we came up with this. So on one side, there is our sticky material. So if you lay it on that rock or log or whatever, it's going to help lock in. It's not going to move. In the interior has a bag, which has a poly bead fill, so not sand. Sand, when it gets wet, gets heavy. So this is a poly bead fill. The interior bag can be removed. So you can just use it to carry licky, chewy snacks, whatever you want.
I'd put snacks.
But what makes it modular is it comes with the optional waist strap. So if you feed this through the back,
like a fanny pack.
Correct. So if you feed this through the back of the range bag or the shooting bag, the camera, you can see the strap goes right through here.
Yeah.
You can wear this around your waist. That way you have it with you, accessible. So if you don't have 4 minutes and to where you can get in your pack and get everything, you just simply unclick this, set the bag up, and you have a very stable rest. Like I said, you can take the interior pouch out. You can use it as a fanny pack to carry, compass or fire starter stuff, whatever you want to carry with you. The other way can be a couple different ways it can be used. You carry it over your shoulder. You can actually tuck your arm in and help you use it to support your hand if you have to take an offhand shot.
Oh, dude, that's pretty cool.
So a couple different ways you can utilize the bag. You can also, if you're running, some of these guys are running these tactical precision matches and they've got these really long free floating handguards. I always see them running with a sandbag. So they're running with the gun in one hand, holding a sandbag in the other. Well, with our waist strap, it's got these elastic retainers here too. You can actually wrap the strap around your free float handguard, secure the ends, and now your shooting bag is mounted to your firearm. So you can
Oh, that's pretty
run
cool.
both hands. You get up to your barricade or wherever you're shooting at and plop it up there, and the sandbag or shooting bag is mounted right to your free float handguard.
Now, you mentioned weight earlier. How much does that weigh?
About 2.5 pounds.
That's not that bad.
No, it's a lot lighter than sand for the volume that you're getting, because it's, like I said, it's a poly bead fill, and it doesn't get heavier as it gets wet, which is a huge advantage if you're
Were you able to take that shot?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. I just couldn't get set in quick enough and stable enough before the animal turned away and was gone. So
did that mess up your whole trip, or was that just
no, it just that day. Just that day. But yeah, so out of that frustration came this guy. So
nice. That's everything for 2024?
So this came out in 2023. At SHOT Show at 2024, we have another product that will be something that is not available to the industry. So we like to find creative ways where we can use our material, or we don't want to just copy and do whatever other people are doing. If we see an opportunity or we have an idea where there's nothing else like it in the industry, and it makes a person's life easier, whatever that is, if it's just going to the range or carrying a gun, or they're sick and tired of their sling sliding off their shoulder, reason we put our sticking material on the sling. So we can figure out a way to improve someone's everyday carry, their lifestyle, their hunting experience, whatever it is. Those are the type of products that we develop and everything. So we're excited for what we're going to launch at SHOT Show in 2024.
Ooh,
that's all I can say about it.
Hopefully I can get an exclusive. I'm going to be at your booth day one.
Come on by.
Yeah. So thanks, man. I appreciate you with the new products. And yeah, thank you, Eric. I appreciate you taking out time to talk to us today.
No, I appreciate it. Once again, thanks for letting me come on your show. And I love everything that you're doing. And I love watching you grow, man. It's been a pleasure, and it's awesome.
Cool. All right. So you had mentioned training, but when you had mentioned earlier before training in weird positions. Now, when you go hunting, do you actually train and to shoot in oddball positions?
Yeah, of course. You never know when a shot is going to present itself. And, I kind of train for the terrain and weather that I'm going to be going to, whether it's West Texas or South Africa, and it's a kind of a high desert, mountainous terrain, or Colorado or Alaska, if it's cold. Here in Florida, it's hard to replicate weather sometimes, but places where I've gone where it's hilly or mountainous. Here in Florida, there's I think the tallest point in Florida is like 47 feet or something. I'll go throw on a 50-60 pound rucksack and start running and walking up stadium steps at local high schools.
Do you really?
I do. Yeah. And then for like elevation, to simulate elevation and less oxygen, I'll wear a buff, like a fishing buff or a gas mask or something to restrict my airflow. I can simulate that. And then when I'm shooting at the range, I obviously want to make sure I have a good zero from a good prone or bench position, confirm zero. And then like in Africa, you shoot off of sticks a lot. So I was shooting off of sticks, somebody coming up, putting sticks up, and then me trying to get a shot off in like 5 seconds.
When you say sticks, you're just talking about like those two crisscross sticks?
Shooting sticks, yep.
That's wild.
Or, sometimes depending on the terrain, you might be on the side of a mountain and you might have to be in a weird half laying on your side position downhill, so anything I can do to replicate shooting uncomfortably and making sure that I still have a supported position, good sight picture, breath control, and trigger squeeze or press, then the other things aren't really important. But if I can put myself in different situations prior to going out there. It's like visualization. When I played sports, you visualize a lot of things. When I was in the military, you visualize a lot of things. So if I've already put myself in a similar position, I don't have to try and figure out, spend time not watching the animal, figuring out where I'm going to put my hand and where I'm going to put my leg and what kind of position I'm going to be in. So I try and make it as difficult as possible because I'd rather miss a shot or pull a shot at the range than pull it, on a expensive guided hunt.
Yeah. So when you're on the hunt, you don't read zero at the time of the hunt. I mean, every shot is like a Cold War shot, right? I mean,
Yeah, it is. I mean, generally when you get there, you'll confirm zero because you don't know what happened to your, I shoot pretty high end stuff, but you never know what happened to that case on the plane.
yeah.
The elevation might have changed things too. If you go from 0 feet here and now I'm going to 7,000, 8,000 feet, the atmospherics are going to change that flight path of that bullet too. So
I never thought
always
about
get
that.
someplace, confirm zero, make any minor adjustments that I may or may not have to. So that way I know everything is in good working order, and then prepare for the day's activities of hunting. So,
Man, have you ever banged your scope while walking and you're like, shit?
no, dropped it or banged it on a rock.
Yeah.
No.
Oh man, because that would just
I'm I maintain control of my weapon system
of course,
pretty closely. I mean, from growing up hunting and being in the military, I mean, very conscious of noise that I make as well. But yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that connects your eyeball to the, your scope is arguably probably the most important thing on your gun.
Yeah, we had we had your friend on the live a couple days ago, Mandy Hunts, and she's a big bow hunter. And I told her I'm gonna kill a deer with a bow this year, 2024, and I have zero experience hunting. I mean, none.
Yeah.
So I figured it should be pretty easy.
Yeah. Well, I just bought a brand new Hoyt bow in February, and I'll be bow hunting next week in Wisconsin.
Oh, really? I got like a 12-year-old PSE bow my brother gave me as a hand-me-down. So
I was using a 10-year-old Hoyt before last year, so it still sends an arrow. I mean, it killed deer 10 years ago. There's no reason it won't kill deer today. So
yeah, it's crazy if you think back about how people used to hunt. Even the freaking Indians, man, with those stone tip arrows, and they were doing it.
Riding a horse next to a buffalo, throwing a spear at it. Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, they're getting it done though.
Yeah, that they're braver than I am. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to turn this live stream into just like a all about hunting because man, I couldn't stop thinking about it yesterday. She was talking about buck fever and what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
I've never experienced any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's I kind of tell people who want to get into it or ask me about it. It's not something that you can force upon somebody. I mean, to a little extent, sometimes you're kind of born into it.
Right.
But you don't know any different, right? Your whole family's out hunting. You want to be with your family when you're a 5-year-old kid. That's what you do. And then, 5 years later, that's all you've known. But I have friends, that are adults and are like, hunting's interesting. I'd maybe like to go with you or try it or experience it or something like that. But it's not something you can, force somebody to like or do. And for me, it's about the experience, hunt camp or whatever it is, whoever, I have a couple different groups that I generally hunt with, and I have lifetime memories, whether you got an animal or not. And I'm oftentimes more excited for my friends getting an animal than I am myself, especially if they get a bigger one. Kyle, when he got his kudu in Africa, man, I was over the moon. It was an absolute trophy monster. And I couldn't have been, I mean, I'm more happy for him taking that than I am any of the animals that I took. So that experience, being able to, harvest food for your family. And I try and feed my kids, wild game meat at least once a week. So they're eating elk or venison or turkey or something like that at least once a week. It's not pump full hormones, but every time I go in the freezer and I pull something out, think about that memory, think about that trip, how hard I worked, the months that I put into that week-long trip. Because that's a lot of times what it is. Before my elk hunt, I trained for 3 months
Wait.
prior to going on that.
So like you were doing stairs with a backpack, you were doing all that stuff. So you didn't. It wasn't a high fence kind of a deal. I mean, you went in and
Free
stalked it,
range. Mm-hmm.
and you got an elk.
I did. Yep.
How things are monsters, man. How long did it take you to pack it out?
So I was lucky. I hunted in West Texas, which is great because it's an exotic. So it's $85 tag. If you've never been to, you're from Texas, but it's portions are really hilly and almost mountainous. And then others are, pretty flat, but there's these huge mesquite bushes down in the bottom parts and all these gullies and wadis and stuff like that, where you may see an elk from 3,000 yards out. And as soon as you get down on ground level, you can't see 10 feet in front of you. But it was, desert mountainish terrain, but we were able to get a buggy to the animal. So
oh man,
I did not have to pack it out.
Yeah, because I watched that like the Meat Eater or like these online, dude. They'll kill the elk and then
2 days to hump it out.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I like that much meat, and it's so much. I mean, like he showed his fridge one time, and his fridge, one elk fills the entire fridge easily.
Yeah, I think mine was just over 300 pounds of meat.
That's absolutely bananas. Everyone in the chat, thank you guys for watching and watching this sort of live, not live. I appreciate it. If you're in the chat and you've actually gone hunting, tell me a hunting story or put a story down in the comments. I love reading that stuff. And if you have any advice for me being a brand new hunter, let me know. I got to go take my hunter safety course and I guess start practicing. I should probably, maybe take some long walks with the pack. It'll probably help me.
Yeah, and the physical fitness part, it's not just getting to a spot where you can take the animal. You've been walking up mountains all day, and now you have to take a shot at 500 to 800 yards on an animal. And if your heart rate is jacked because you're out of shape, that's going to possibly throw your shot and then humping the meat out, So all those factors play a role. And I'm not no skinny mini by any means, but yeah, 3 months out from a hunting trip, I get pretty serious about it.
Damn. Okay, so what do you do 3 months out? Do you go a couple of times a week or every single day?
Well, with work and kids and everything,
right?
It'll be once or twice a week. Some sort of hard physical cardiovascular exercise, and then as it gets closer, it's 2, 3, 4 times a week. And I'll it's mostly cardiovascular, so walking with a heavy pack, Stairmaster, treadmill on the highest incline possible with weighted pack, airflow restriction because everything is higher than Florida.
Right.
And then obviously some weights because you got to get used to carrying your gun all day, your pack all day. If your muscles are fatigued, that just goes into, shaking more when you're trying to take a shot, all that stuff. So yeah, generally about 3 months out is when I start, start my physical fitness regimen for that trip, whatever it is.
I wonder if it's not the same for a bow hunt, right? Can't you just sit in a
Depends
tree?
on what you're doing. I mean, if you're tree stand hunting, like I will be in Wisconsin, I mean, the physical fitness is I got to be able to climb 12 feet up a tree, and that's about it. But if you're Joe Rogan and you're hiking all over Utah and trying to take an 80-yard bow shot on an elk, then that's a whole different animal.
Yeah, it was funny. He had
those bows are heavy.
Yeah, he had this.
It's not like you have a sling and you can carry it, over your shoulder. I mean, you're carrying a 10-pound bow around with you all day.
Yeah, and he had this one story where he was out and he went on his first hunting trip, and he's in shape.
Oh, yeah, he's a monster.
That first hunting trip he went on just kicked his ass because it was just so intense.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people forget about the elevation portion. If you're lucky enough to live in Colorado, it's not that big of a deal. But for me, that's a huge thing because everything is, higher than Florida. I'm 2 miles from the beach.
Yeah, the first time I went snowboarding, I used to be like a real fitness junkie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went up to Big Bear, which is like 7,500 feet or 8,000 feet. Man, I was dying. It was a really long day. I slept like a baby that night. I was just out.
Yeah, I had to sprint on my way to Hawaii last month. I had to sprint like 20 gates to catch my flight. And I barely made it to the gate. Like, I thought I was going to die. And I get to the gate and I can't talk. I'm wheezing. I don't know if you remember the old Adam Sandler comedy CDs.
Yeah.
Like Lunch Lady and stuff like that. He had one of like Fatty McGee when Fatty McGee's going up the steps and he's wheezing. That was me. And that's all I could think of was that Adam Sandler bit. And I told the counter guy, I'm like, just give me a second. Like, I got to do more cardio, like feeling terrible about myself. And he's like, where do you come from? Florida? He's like, oh, yeah, we're like 5,700 feet above sea level right now. So
yeah, that'll kick your butt all day long.
It takes it out of you. Yeah.
So where have you hunted before that you know?
Well, most recently, I just hunted in Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii, man. What'd you get in Hawaii?
I didn't get anything, actually, but I went axis deer hunting. One of my dear friends lives on Maui, and he's never been hunting before. And he was like, hey, do you want to take me hunting? I'm like, sure. He goes, all right, well, I have a buddy that has access to private land, and he's got a couple guns you can borrow. So I said, great. So we went out and hunted most of the day. There's no tag limits. It's a invasive or non-native species over there, so you can take as many as you want. There's no season, anything like that. You just have to buy a license through Hawaii and everything.
Right.
But I didn't get anything. Ernie, my buddy, shot one in the neck. So he was able to get one, but I did not get one. I had a good shot. I was lining up on one. There was a whole herd of them, probably 40 of them, in this gulch that I was walking through, and got set up, crosshairs, start my breathing, and all of a sudden a dog came out of nowhere and chased the whole herd off.
Oh, did you shoot the dog?
No, I did not.
Did you want to?
I did want to.
Yeah.
But I did not shoot the dog.
Big stupid dog, man. That sounds like my luck.
Yeah. Hey, that's hunting. I mean,
I'd be in a tree all day and then drop the bow or something stupid.
Stuff like that happens. Yeah. All the time.
So where have you
hunted?
You've been you said Africa, where else?
A lot in Texas.
The only place overseas?
Only place overseas. I'd like to go to Argentina and dove hunt. I've heard crazy stories about that. I definitely want to go back to Africa for sure because I didn't get everything. I'm trying to go caribou hunting in the next 2 or 3 years. You got to book that at least 2 years out. But I'd like to go up to Canada or Alaska and caribou hunt.
Why do you have to book it so far out? Is it just to get the tag to do it?
They're literally booking that far in advance.
There's that many people that want to go do it.
Yep.
All right, now here's a question. How much is a Alaskan caribou hunt cost?
A lot.
Like what? For me, a lot is like, $12 for a cheeseburger is a lot. Is it like $5,000?
3 times that.
Oh man! And then you got to ship the meat back.
Yeah, taxidermy. I mean, you're talking, the hunt itself might be.
So the whole trip's probably
the hunt itself might be $7-8 grand, right? But
what?
Like the hunt, but you got to pay airfare. You got to pay
$7-8 grand.
Yeah.
Okay.
You pay. So like my elk hunt was like $7,500, but then there's tip, there's airfare, there's taxidermy, there's meat processing, there's shipping the meat. Not to mention all the shooting you do prior to that. You're shooting a bullet that's $3 to $5 a round. Training, shooting, all that stuff. And stuff adds up. I mean, I pretty much tell people whatever the hunt costs, double it at least.
I think I might start out with squirrels.
Squirrel's good. I've eaten a lot of fried squirrel in my day.
Have you really?
Oh yeah.
I've never tried that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's expensive. I don't even want to ask about Africa then.
Yeah, Africa's. The good thing was I got a ridiculous deal. So it was at an auction, and nobody was bidding on it.
It was like a silent auction?
No, a live auction. It was a hunt for 2 with impala and warthog included. 7-day hunt. Think they started it at 17,000. And I'll tell you, I got it for under $1,000.
You got it for under a what?
$1,000.
No shit. That's a great deal.
Yes. That was one of those where I didn't even call the wife, now ex-wife, for permission. I just it was such a good deal.
Yeah. For me, it's like
whatever punishment I'm gonna receive for that. But yeah, and then premium ammo is really hard to come by in South Africa, and whatever it is, like a box is $52 here. With their taxes and their import fees and markup in Africa, that box is easily $100.
Oh wow!
So we took 50 pounds of premium ammunition, or a whole entire suitcase, which was an interesting conversation with Homeland Security at the Miami airport on why we had so much ammo going to Africa. But we were able to barter ammo for trophy fees as well.
Oh yeah, I mean those guys are probably like they're hitting the holy grail with you coming out.
Yeah, so we it worked out well. But yeah, it was about, the taxidermy was actually really quick. It took about a year to get it stateside, which my elk is coming on like a year and a half right now, and that was in Texas. So
Oh, no kidding.
mm-hmm.
Oh man, who was that guy? I know it's in Africa. He reloads all his own stuff.
So we have a partnership with Keith Warren. He has a TV show called The High Road.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been hunting with him twice now for the TV show since we sponsor that. He's a really good guy. So all your followers out there, if you haven't checked out Keith, check him out at The High Road.
Keith Warren, The High Road.
The High Road. Yeah.
Nice.
And he does things a little bit differently. I mean, he's definitely a showman. He knows his viewership, and he does, interesting, unique things. Like he'll go hunting with a 10 mil Glock.
Huh.
He'll go hunting with a 50 cal.
This is The High Road?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna have to look this up. Everyone in the chat.
He shot deer. Actually, he's pretty famous. I can't remember how many years ago. He killed a doe with a 50 cal, and the bullet didn't even hit the deer.
Just to
the overpressure killed the deer. Yeah.
No
kidding. He took a 50 cal to Africa. He does a lot of air rifle hunting. He's got like a what is it? Air Venturi Super Eagle, I think, air gun, or Eagle Claw, Dragon Claw or Eagle Claw air gun that shoots an arrow. He uses.
Yeah, I've seen those. Those are pretty sweet.
So he does that a lot. So he doesn't do a lot of the traditional, Steve Rinella type stuff. He's a little more unique and entertaining. We'll put it that way.
I'm gonna hook you up with my buddy Peter Milan. I met him at the Gundies, and he's a big time hunter in Africa, and he does all these shooting competitions. He's really a cool guy. He's kind of a perfectionist, but he was actually on my live once, and his videos look like you're watching like a National Geographic special. Like, it's top. So if you ever get over there, I mean, he's probably a good guy to know.
Where is he?
He's in South Africa. He's got that weird accent, South African.
Yeah. Afrikaans.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. He's really a cool guy, though. You
Yeah.
know, good dad. He's got some cool kids, a lot of cool guns. I know he's sponsored by a lot of companies. He sells. I think he has his own shop too, where he sells
Mm-hmm.
brakes and rifles and guns. But he'd be a really cool person to meet up with. He's a good dude.
I've got a show for you to go to.
Let me have
It's cold, and it's in Pennsylvania in February.
it. Okay, cool.
But it's called the Great American Outdoor Show.
Now, does that travel around, or is it
No,
only in
it's
Pennsylvania?
always in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania in February. And it's like the largest, I don't know what their actual claim to fame is, but it is a massive, massive venue.
Great American Outdoor Show.
And they've got everything. They've got one hall that's just archery. They've got like 6 halls that's just hunting outfitters and fishing outfitters.
Harrisburg,
boat
Pennsylvania.
sections. They've got firearm hall. They've got food hall. And then in the arena for like 5 days, it's the dog jumping competitions. It's pretty incredible. I mean, I've never gone as a someone
Spectator.
can just go around and walk around and look at everything because I'm in the same booth every year. But it's 9 days. You could probably do everything in like 2 or 3 days.
So I could take the family to that and then ditch
100%.
them, then totally just ditch them.
You could.
I wonder if they have media. I'm gonna go to the media.
But
9-day event.
Yeah, it's a 9-day event.
Dude, is there snow on the ground?
Yeah.
Kids will like that.
I mean, it could be anywhere from 40 degrees or -20 in February. But they always have like a big concert on Thursday night. So, I mean, I think Lee Bryce has been there like 4 times.
Outdoor celebrities. Nice. Yeah, I'm looking at it here. NRAE Explore.
Yeah.
Great American Outdoor Show. Oh, the NRA puts it on.
Yeah, it'll be better than that Tulsa one you went to.
Well, that was just like a gun show. Oh, is this a gun show?
Yeah,
Can
so
you buy
you
guns
can't
here?
buy guns there.
This is more like
You can buy
kind of shot
everything
show light.
else there.
So it's like shot show light.
Yeah, the only thing you can't buy is guns. Everybody else is selling everything.
Oh, man.
Or some manufacturers you could buy a gun and then, have it shipped to your FFL. But
So
you're not
you do
walking
shot
out.
show, and then
You're not walking out of there with a gun.
You go from shot show almost directly to this show.
Correct. It's a brutal 3 weeks.
That's rough.
Yeah, and then we have buy group shows mixed in there as well.
So what's a good day to go to this show? Because shot show, they say the first day is the best.
Well, the busiest is the first weekend. I mean, I would say middle of the week there's less people. I mean, the first weekend it is butt to nut in every aisle.
Oh wow!
Around the entire. I mean, they're saying it's like, was it 80,000 people or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna try and swing it. I'm unemployed at the moment, so.
Oh, hey, no excuses.
I know. I just got my 2 weeks notice the other day. They closed my branch down where I was working, so I'm interviewing like a madman right now. Actually, I have an interview. I have two more today, and then Wednesday I have 3, and then Friday I have 2.
One door closes, 2 more open.
I know it, man. But it's the competition is fierce in my industry.
Yeah. Maybe just do this full time.
I'd like to do YouTube full time, man, but I'm just not as cool as I need a bigger name, I guess.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Actually, it's a lot of things have been opening up lately.
Good.
And I've been busting my butt trying to network and meet the right people. And
my dad always says it takes a long time to be an overnight success.
Right. I know. A little off topic, but I was watching an interview with Jewel, and she was talking about everyone's like, oh, they didn't see the 10 years of her singing in shit bars for no money and getting scammed by producers and all that stuff before she became famous. So
yeah, I actually saw a video. I mean, I don't really like him, but I saw a video of Morgan Wallen like 5 years ago at a county fair, singing in the bed of a pickup truck or the back of a trailer. like a flatbed, like fifth wheel gooseneck trailer at a county fair, and there's like 7 people watching them.
Oh, wow.
This was like 5 years ago.
Hey, man, if you ever want to come out and bring the kids, the Houston rodeo is pretty bananas.
Oh, really?
It is. They take it to a whole nother level out here. First, they do a barbecue cook-off the weekend before. So the last weekend in February, they do a barbecue cook-off. And they take up the entire parking lot of George R. Brown. So each booth, each booth has a DJ, eating area, a dance floor, and a barbecue team. And there's about 480 of them. And it's all like a 20 by 10. So it's huge, absolutely huge. And if you get a wristband, all the companies sponsor these cooking teams. If you get a wristband, everything you eat and drink is free all night. And I usually get 6 or 7 wristbands so I can walk from one end to the other and get another fresh beer. And all day, that's crazy. But anyway, after the cook-off, the following weekend, the rodeo starts, and it's about 24 days of rodeo. And there's petting zoos. There's all kinds of stuff for your kids to do. And then that night they do like a 4-hour rodeo, and then every night ends with like a live music.
Oh, wow.
It's really an event.
24 days of that?
It's 24 days. But if you come out, I can get you a couple tickets.
Okay. Maybe I'll just come out and leave my kids.
Well, then you want to come out for the cook-off, sir.
Yeah.
And then debauchery will follow.
Oh.
But, I mean, you can try like 25 different barbecues in one night. I mean, you're going to be stuffed.
Yeah, I'm trying to lose weight.
That's what I train for. I train for the cook-off.
That's your idea of training? Barbecue?
Yeah, that's my idea of training. I'm doing stairs just so I can eat some more barbecue.
There you go.
Everyone in the chat, let me know if you're local Houston, if you've ever been to the Houston Rodeo, please put in the comments below if you've ever been there, because it is bananas. It is so much fun. I can't wait. Every year, it's just like, it's so much fun to go.
Yeah. Are you going to be at Chacho this year?
Absolutely. I just booked my hotel. Thank God. I have some dear friends. I'm from Los Angeles originally, so I have some friends out there that, her parents are like big high rollers, and they go to Vegas all the time. So they were able to get me a comp room.
That's awesome.
Oh, my God.
We'll see how the strike affects it, huh?
What strike?
The largest service industry union strike ever. Every MGM, bartender, server, cook, everything striked.
What are you doing, man? You're killing me.
What?
Did it start now?
I think it started this week.
God damn it.
Yeah. Right
It should wrap up.
Right before, I think SEMA just happened. But, you've got F1, SHOT Show, World of Concrete, Building Construction. All the shows are starting in January. So.
Yeah, I always run into a lot of those concrete guys during SHOT Show.
Yeah. They always have World of Concrete, AVN, and SHOT Show same week.
Yeah, I wanted to go to SEMA this year, but I can't afford it.
Yeah,
I think it
was last week, wasn't it? CES is in January, I think, too.
Yeah, that's a cool show.
So it'll be interesting to see how long this strike goes on.
Hopefully not a long time, man.
Yeah,
because the service at Circle Bar already sucks. I can't imagine them striking too.
I don't go to that place. I think I went once last year because I got dragged there.
And it's terrible.
It's just not my scene.
Yeah.
I'll go there and say hi to a few people that, I see once a year at SHOT Show, but I'm not hanging out there all night.
So, yeah, I didn't hear anything about a strike in Vegas.
Yeah.
Crap.
I think it started last week. Yeah.
That's not going to be good.
No. I'm sure they'll get it sorted out.
Yeah, but the last couple of times I was in Vegas, it's so overpriced. I mean, like my friends got me comp rooms last year too. So I'm like, hey, let me take you to a buffet. And so we went over to Caesars and did the Caesars buffet, and it was like $130 a person.
Yeah.
And it was good, but it wasn't $130 good.
I can't remember which one I've done. But it's like every food you could imagine.
It's probably the Caesars, man. Caesars is supposed
to have crab legs, king crab legs.
That's Caesars, yeah.
Italian, Mexican, Chinese food. sushi, everything that works.
Yeah.
Anything you think of was there.
It
Prime
was
rib.
so funny. So my friend Cheryl and Aaron, they were having a conversation, and my buddy Gear Know How, he came with me, Kyle. And I remember I wanted to participate in the conversation, but I'd eaten so much meat, and I was literally in a meat coma. I started sweating. I was sweating, and they stopped talking. They look at me. They're like, "You all right?" And I literally could not talk, and I'm like, "Fuck, am I gonna die?" Like, you know, I always figure I'm like one donut away from diabetes. Like every time I eat a donut, I go, "This is the one. This is the one. This is the magic donut."
That's funny.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
That's funny.
But I'm always like one donut. Like this morning, I took my son to school and we stopped and got kolaches and donuts. And I'm like, man. So I feel bad. I take the bread off the kolache and just eat the hot dog. It's getting bad, dude. It's getting bad.
I can't remember the last time I ate a donut.
Yeah, they're delicious, by the way.
I'm not a sweets guy. Sorry. Quiet. Sorry.
What kind of dog do you have?
He's a mutt. He's a red. Hey, get over here.
You get to take your dog to work?
Yeah, we have like 3 dogs here at the office every day.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, so I just did that Tulsa show, and I got to tell you, man, it was fun, but there was no deals at that show. I mean, everyone has used stuff. This guy was selling a Mossberg Shockwave for $650, and it was beat to hell. And he goes, "Yeah, it's new. I got the box and everything." I'm like, it's not new, buddy.
Yeah.
And so I just finished editing that video. I'm going to post it later today. And the only thing I found worth a shit at the gun show. And then it's just going to be a montage of everyone's dog. There was a bunch of dogs there. Because that's the only.
Yeah.
My son got good deals on Pokemon cards, and that's about it.
Oh, I saw that.
That's the only thing he.
Yeah. And it's a lot of the same stuff. Everybody's hawking the same, Mosin Nagant. There's 17 tables with 17 different vendors selling Mosin Nagants.
Yeah, and there was some really nice AKs, and there was some really trashed AKs and stuff there, and they wanted top dollar, and I'm like, you got companies like PSA, and there's a lot of good companies that are making AKs off of build kits.
Not 2020 anymore, where you can name your price.
Yeah, these guys, and no one was buying. I was talking to a bunch of tables. Anybody buying this? No. And for me, I was just looking for something really. I wanted an 870. I was looking for like a good shotgun. But my kid had a good time. We got to connect with some people. It was all right. It was cool. It was worth the trip. It's a 6-7 hour drive for me. It was worth it.
That's not terrible.
Nah. My son, me and him, we had a lot of bonding experiences.
There you go. That's good.
We were cracking up the whole time.
Father-son time is always good.
Yeah. So it was fun. I let him play hooky from school for a day.
I'm sure he enjoyed that.
Actually, no. He likes going to school. He's a little nerd.
Well, hey, he'll grow up and run a company one day.
Yeah. Man, he's a goofball. I love that kid. He's so sweet, man.
I used to find every imaginable way out of school.
Oh, yeah.
In high school, the lady patrolling the parking lot on her golf cart, all you do is bring her a quarter pounder with cheese from McDonald's, and she wouldn't say anything. So,
that's pretty smart.
Yeah. And then my first period teacher was like AP history. He's like, "This is a college course. I don't care if you come." He's like, "I'll look at your attendance in your other classes. If you were there, I'll mark you as here."
Yeah, well, I went to 4 high schools.
Oh, wow.
And I had a big mouth, man. And I don't know if anybody noticed.
Look at you now. Now you're putting it to use.
I've had to talk my way out of a lot of ass whoopings, and that's why I'm in sales, I think. And so I went to San Pedro High School. I started in San Pedro. I went to Banning High School for 3 hours.
3 hours.
And immediately got jumped by some essays. And then I went to Carson High School. I almost got a full day at Carson High School. And then I got, again, jumped by about 9 Samoans. It was May Day. I'll never forget. I walked right into a Jack in the Box full of Samoans. And I was not dressed appropriately for that side of town. And I'm like, son of a gun. And then they gave me an emergency transfer to Narbonne High School. And then my very first day there, a kid got kicked in the throat and died.
This is LA?
Yeah.
Wow.
My very first, I just told my mom, Narbonne's a safe school. Don't worry about it. But my girlfriend at the time went to Narbonne, and that's why I wanted to go. Very first day, a kid got kicked in the throat. And I was like, fuck, dying. And then I transferred from there. I went back to San Pedro and finished out in San Pedro. I graduated from Pedro, but it was a fun couple of years. Just big mouth. I just couldn't keep it shut, man.
Hey, now you're making a career out of it.
Yeah, right? Man, so Sticky has a really cool thing you can't tell me about on air for 2024. I can't wait to see it. I think you had mentioned a few things last year that you might be working on, so I might know a tiny smidgen of what it could be, maybe. But I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. Like I said, I've been using sticky holsters going on like 9 years.
Yeah.
About 9 years now. And this is on this gun. I've had this gun 4 years. This is the second holster. And look, that's how you can tell if someone uses your product, because this will get worn away in a year. You'll wear the letters out in a year.
Yeah. And right around the ejection port too. It's right where your belt is. Typically.
Yeah. It's really smooth. It almost has a little hole in it now.
Yeah.
Look at that.
You're a Texan guy. We are in Buc-ee's now.
Get the blank out of town.
Nope.
Dude, Buc-ee's is a religion out here.
Buc-ee's carries 5 SKUs.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I was just at Buc-ee's twice this weekend. I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah.
In case anybody in chat doesn't know, Buc-ee's is a huge gas station.
If
you've never been to one,
you haven't been to one, you can't explain to somebody that's never been.
No. And then when you tell them about it, they're like, I don't get, oh, right here.
Yeah. Now, my parents just went to their first Buc-ee's last week. There you go.
Buc-ee's. This is my favorite. Little coated peanuts. It's probably really bad for you. But like I said, I almost have diabetes anyway. So
you can't go to Buc-ee's and not get a brisket sandwich.
Yeah. You know what my new kick is at Buc-ee's is they have something called the Swiss Melt. It has like a real spicy sauce on it. It's like Arby's on steroids.
Yep.
That is the jam.
As well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
I went to the Ducks Unlimited Expo in Texas, and our hotel room was right next to Buc-ee's. So I basically ate at Buc-ee's for 4 days.
Oh, and the food is fresh and it's delicious.
My kids love it too. When we drive to South Carolina every summer, we stop at Buc-ee's right outside of Macon.
Yeah.
At like 5 a.m. My kids are like, before they go to sleep, because I drive all night. They're like, wake me up when we get to Buc-ee's. I'm like, I'll wake you up when we get to Buc-ee's. Don't worry.
Yeah. Go back to sleep.
So we go in there, we get breakfast, and then get back in their car seats and go back to sleep.
Well, I think Florida has like 3 or 4 Buc-ee's now.
1.
Really? I thought they had more than that.
Just south of Jacksonville. There was supposed to be one like 20 minutes away from here, but the county above us, they decided that they didn't want that much traffic.
Yeah, who doesn't want all that tax revenue?
Yeah, exactly. But the traffic's already there.
Jobs.
The traffic's already there. So I don't know what happened, but they denied it or whatever. So
yeah, that's lame. Buc-ee's is fantastic. They pay their people a lot of money, a good living wage.
It's good. No. And the cleanest bathrooms anywhere.
Hands down. Yeah, if you've never been to a Buc-ee's, guys, just try and go to one. You'll understand. Like my brother is from
You can't
Atlanta.
spend less than an hour there.
Not your first time, no.
You can't do it.
No. So my brother was in Atlanta, and he was driving from Atlanta to LA, and this was about 5 years ago. And I kept telling him about Buc-ee's. He goes, I don't want to stop at no stupid gas station. And so he stops at the one in Katy, which in Texas, Katy for a while was the biggest one in the United States. And it's like 144 gas pumps. And he calls me. He goes, you asshole. I just spent $250, not even buy gas yet.
That's cheap.
Dude, I always spend
$100 left there with a smoker. You could have left there with a Yeti. I mean,
yeah, now some sticky holsters.
Yep.
Dude, that's wild.
and a live, love, laugh sign too to top it off.
Yeah, and some beaver nuggets, and there's
Beef
all
jerky,
kinds of stuff. Oh yeah,
50 feet of beef jerky.
yeah. We went from a gun to a Bucky's conversation real quick.
It's all American.
Yeah, it's all American. So where are you hunting this next year, 2024?
Trying to work out a spring bear hunt.
Where do you go hunt bear at?
Alaska or Canada. Probably Canada. So
Now, there's certain times of year that meat tastes better, right? They said if it's
spring
all
bear.
berries, it tastes
Yep.
pretty good. But if it's
Come out of
fish,
hibernation, get into the blueberries.
yeah, they said if it's then they're eating the fish, they taste like shit.
Yeah, if you get one that's right by the water, and all they're doing is eating fish before hibernation. But spring bear, get into the berries. Yeah. So plus I want a bear rug in front of my fireplace, even though I never use the fireplace.
You want it for your bed? Who are you kidding?
No, in front of the fireplace. My kids like my zebra rug, so I figured get a nice bear rug in the living room for them.
They're gonna name it.
I have like a 7-foot teddy bear in the living room that they are laying on now when they watch TV. So
Kids are great. Oh, they're pretty young still, right?
yeah, 6 and 3, almost 4.
Oh, so you're out of the terrific twos. Oh man,
My kids are pretty easy.
it gets easier. If they're good kids, it gets way easier.
My kids are super easy, but
Nice.
that's
It
just
always helps.
you got to be consistent with them.
100%. That's it. And I run into people all the time with kids that are out of control. They're like, "How do you do it?" I'm like, "I don't know. My kids are. My kids are easy. Like
You let them slide once, and the standard changes.
immediately.
And then they don't know what's acceptable if the standard's always changing. They don't know what's expected of them.
Exactly.
So,
And it's not like you beat your kids, but I'm just consistent.
I don't even yell at them. I don't need to.
I just give my son a look.
Yeah.
And a kid should have a healthy fear of their parents.
Yes.
It's good. It helps them build character.
I've got 2 girls though, so I tell them quite often that they're lucky they're not boys.
Well, the thing with
They'd
you,
be upside down, duct taped to a palm tree.
so the thing with you, my man, is about 15 is when you don't know anything. Oh my God.
My 3-year-old's already given me the hand on the hip and cock in the head, and so
my oldest one's 22. She's gone. She's successful, 2nd lieutenant in the Army. God bless her. I love her.
It's awesome. Congratulations.
And then she's gonna be stationed in Okinawa for 2 years. Bro.
So today, 16 years ago, I graduated Ranger School.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, 16 years ago.
Man,
As a cherry 2nd lieutenant.
Time goes by quick, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And she's doing like missile defense.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I'm like, you can't even do your taxes, man. What are you doing?
So ADA, what is that, out of Kansas?
She's in Fort Sill, Oklahoma at the moment.
Oklahoma, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she graduates there in like a month, and then goes straight to Japan. And Okinawa is like Hawaii, so tough life. She's gonna be on the Air Force base too, since she's an officer.
She can be at the Air Force base. That's like resort living.
So I told her, I'm like here's what you do.
Lobster every night.
So I told her, I was like, look, here's what you do. You stay away from your Army friends. You stay away from the Marines, and don't even touch a Navy guy. You find yourself a pilot, and you nail him down now.
100% stay away from the Marines.
Yeah, Marine. No offense, Marines, but you know it's true. I mean, find a pilot. I've never seen a homeless Air Force pilot. Oh, I used to fly a Blackbird. No, it doesn't happen. Those are successful cats. Nail him down. Think of your father. Don't be so selfish. And then my 9-year-old, my wife's a little wishy-washy on the rules sometimes, and I'm still a hard ass with her, but she'll turn out all right. She's a good kid. My son's just goofy. He's just
you got 3?
I have 3, yeah. And I always thought the oldest one would be messed up because I think kids are like pancakes. The first one's always a little screwed up, then they smooth out. You know what I mean?
My oldest is like a perfect kid. She's easy, so easy.
Yeah, like you said, you just got to be consistent.
Yeah,
If you expect a lot, they'll do a lot.
she's an incredible athlete. She's super smart. She, you know, she's in first grade. She's already getting like third grade work from her teacher.
You know what? That's something I wish we had done. I think we should have homeschooled because now they always teach the lowest common denominator.
Yeah,
And so
depends
like
on the teacher.
my kids are always, top of their class. They're still top of their class, but now the class, like last year, I thought my son was in. I'm like, should you have a helmet on in this class, buddy? He goes, I'm the smartest one in my class. Yeah, I've seen your class. It's terrible.
Luckily, I think our school district is like the best in Florida or right up there. So,
yeah, I mean, it's a cool school, but some of these kids,
yeah,
they should have drool buckets. I'm just saying.
And when they're 18, they're going to get the same vote as your kid.
I know it, man. Dude, that is killer. But hey, I just want to say thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Everyone in the chat, thanks for hanging out. And any last words for everyone?
No, just thank you guys. If you are a customer, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate your business. If you're not a customer, we have other products. If you're a Kydex guy, that's fine and dandy. But we have a lot of other products on our website. We have our comfort pad, which mounts to a Kydex holster, so it makes your plastic holster actually comfortable. We've got a lot of different other products on our website, and you know what? As long as you support the 2A community and everything, whether you buy from us or somebody else, we just want you to be safe. Invoke your Second Amendment rights and everything like that. So if you're going to earn your business, great. If not, that's why there's a million other holster companies out there. So
that's why you have a drawer full of everyone else's holsters.
Yeah. Hey, I tell people holsters are like shoes, man. You can't have one holster for every situation.
100%.
Everything that you do. I can't wear the same shoes hunting to a wedding and run a marathon in,
Yeah.
If you bust that sticky holster out once a year and it improves your carry that day for that one day a year, we're happy. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And we appreciate everybody. Those customers out there, we appreciate your business. We really do.
Nice. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching.